my pleasure to introduce to our expert speaker, Sagnik Pal. He helps manufacturing leaders turn Gen AI and ML from buzzwords into real products, measurable operational gains, and a skilled workforce through hands-on upskilling and mentorship. And we are pleased to have him here uh, for this masterclass. Thank you so much, Sagnik, for joining us. And over to you.
Thank you, Ananya, and thank you, uExcelerate, for having me here. It's a pleasure. So let's get started. Today's session is obviously AI Masterclass. It's for the manufacturing industry. The way I've tried to create this deck is to keep it at a high level. And obviously in this webinar, we'll also, towards the end, cover a bit of the hands-on practice on one of the AI tool, which I assume some of you might have used. If not, we'll try it out today itself. Quickly, the agenda. And this is my obviously introduction. I've 20 plus years of experience. I do a lot of angel investing, run a e-commerce business. I have 5,000 hours of training experience building people from a level 0 to a level 2 engineer in terms of technology and processes. I'm based out of Kolkata. I have a master's in physics and few industry credentials. Yeah, let's move on. Quickly, the agenda. We'll touch base on what is AI all about in manufacturing with the basics of AI, how AI is helping manufacturing leaders take decisions through automations. We'll touch about the ethical foundations of AI. We'll look at some of the tools that are available for your day-to-day use, and that's the AI playbook that we have here. We'll cover 6 AI risks and how the real-world impact is happening because of AI. Yeah, let's move on. We'll take a quick poll here. As you can see, there's a QR code. You can scan that, as well as I would suggest that we put it on the chat as well, the link to the poll. You can click here and answer. Is your company open to investing in AI? What is your current view of the thought process of the company now? So that's a good data to have, right? Your companies are actively exploring and investing in AI. So that's what 70% people feel. There are 10% of the people who feel that we are at a neutral stage. And obviously 18%. So it's a good place to be in, right? That your companies are looking to invest in AI. Let's move on. So what does AI mean in 2025, right? Artificial intelligence has been there since 1950s, right? However, the boom happened in 2014 onwards, right? And since 2020, that's where ChatGPT came in, one of the most popular AI tool, and that brought in a new technology advancements, because of which AI started, got into skyrocket mode. And that's what we are going to understand today. How the AI landscape has evolved, what it means for manufacturing industries, and some of the disruptive opportunities within the manufacturing industries. Let's move on to the next slide. Before we get into a lot of the tool discussions, what is there in terms of the use cases for manufacturing, wanted to bring everybody onto the same page with how an AI solution is built, right? So if you see here, as a user, AI is built in 2 main format, right? So it is supervised AI and unsupervised AI. Can I get a yes on a chat if everybody has heard about this supervised AI and unsupervised AI? You can just type a yes on the chat. That will help me understand how many of you have heard about supervised AI and unsupervised AI. Okay, Kamini says no. Others, you can quickly type in the chat if you have heard about supervised and unsupervised AI. Right? Okay. So most of you you haven't heard of this term. So there are 2 main ways AI is built. In supervised AI, while we are building the AI solution, we supervise it. Meaning, if you see in this image, the user is sending 100 images of cats tagged as these are cats, and similarly, let's say 100 images of dogs, and telling the AI that, okay, because I'm giving you samples of cats and dog images, you learn from this sample. Now, once the AI has learned from this supervised learning, go to the next slide, it becomes ready to identify these cat and dog images, right? So next, when I give it a bunch of images, which is a mix and match without specifying whether it has cats or dogs, the AI would be able to identify and segregate that, okay, in all these images, there are millions of images you have given me, there are 2 dogs and 2 cats, right? So that's what supervised learning is all about. Go to the next slide. The other side of the learning is unsupervised, where I have so much of data and it is not labeled, right? So earlier image, you saw that I have labeled cats and dogs. In this, I have a bunch of images or animals and birds and whatnot. And I don't have the time to label all of these, right? So what I'll do is I'll just dump the entire data to the AI and tell it, okay, you learn from all of these, whatever is there, and then give me groupings of what you feel are lookalikes, right? Next slide. So now AI is going to say that, okay, I have found 3 groups in all your images. Let's say I've sent millions of images, right? In group 1, it will group all the birds because they have similar features. Group 2, it will see that there are similar features with 4 legs, a tail, and some additional features. Similarly, in group 3, it sees water, fins, fish-like structure, and that's how it creates these 3 groups automatically. And this is called unsupervised because I haven't given it any additional information. Now you might be thinking that in manufacturing, how does this, cats and dogs and birds and these fishes gets applicable? The main concept in AI is it is able to learn from data, right? So now if you go to the next slide, we'll understand how in manufacturing these same concepts are getting utilized. So on the left hand side, you see the image of a factory floor where people are wearing safety gears, their head gears, the goggles and the vests. Think about how this AI camera was built, right? For this camera to automatically identify the headgear, it had to be shown a lot of people's images with headgear and told that, okay, if people are wearing headgear, then it is a green and they are compliant. Similarly, people with goggles had to be given to this AI model and wearing vests. Once millions of images were given and the camera was created, then it became ready, wherein any new video, any new movements, it will be automatically able to detect who is wearing headgear, goggles, and the vest. And if people are not wearing that, these cameras automatically trigger alert that people are in a zone which is not safe and they are there without a vest or a headgear. So that is the example of the supervised learning, supervised AI that we built in the cats and dogs example, right? Now the second example of unsupervised AI, where we grouped, right? How did we do that? That's the customer segmentation. You might have a lot of data. How do you segregate the customer data? You segregate it by giving it to the AI, and it will give you, okay, these are your certain customers who are preferring to purchase certain products versus a cohort 2 who might be purchasing certain other products. Okay, so that's at a high level what supervised AI and unsupervised AI is all about. Can I get a yes from everybody that the concept is clear about how AI, supervised and unsupervised AI, is getting used in manufacturing? On the chat, please. Okay, cool. So with that being clear, we'll just quickly play a video, two big videos. The left video doesn't have audio. The second video has. And you can understand how AI is detecting. Go ahead and play the video. So if you see all these detections, the burn with, if it was burnt, it turned out to be red, right? Similarly, there are other products which are continuously tagged as right and wrong. Towards the left corner, if you see those barrel of oils, you see there was one oil which was not okay, whereas 70 are okay, right? Because on one of the barrel, there was, while the barrel was getting filled, it had spill of oil, and the camera was able to detect that that drum was not proper. So using these AI-based cameras and automation, factories are doing a lot of quality compliance checks, safety awareness, and all of that. The second video is about AWS, Amazon's warehouse automation.
What a nice place. Beautiful. Antique. That's no longer quite true. Amazon's modern fulfillment centers are largely patrolled by an army of squat, Roomba-like robots that pick up whole shelves, also known as pods, and bring them to a human picker situated at a stationary workstation. Amazon's enlistment of this whirring battalion began in 2012, when the company purchased robotics company Kiva Systems, the market leader in warehouse automation, for an eye-watering $775 million cash. The company's flagship model, commonly referred to as Kiva, is around 30 centimeters high and capable of lifting 450 kilograms weight whilst travelling at around 3 miles per hour. The substitution of these squat orange automatons in place of dashing human workers makes a colossal difference to Amazon's bottom line. It's been estimated that Amazon's warehouses can now hold 50% more stock and retrieve that stock 3 times faster. This reduces the overall cost of fulfillment by some 40%. Cheaper, quicker warehouses mean products that are more affordable for the end user, and crucially, products that are much more likely to be on the van.
So with robotics, with AI, Amazon was able to store 50% more in their warehouse with a 3x faster turnaround, and that gave them a savings of 40%. So that's what the power of AI and robotic does to manufacturing. We'll have a next poll here. Go ahead. And the poll link is also pasted on the chat window. So if anybody wants to click on that link and respond, that's also available for you. So the poll is, what are the key challenges you face in adopting AI as on today? Let's quickly get into that link and submit your responses. It could be between, let's say, not sure where to start. Okay. Interesting, mix and match, right? Okay, so I think the majority of the people are saying integration with existing system is a challenge in manufacturing. It's expected. Then lack of skilled workforce in AI, that's another piece. Right, not sure where to start. 3 people feel that. Regulatory compliance is a concern. Uncertainty about ROI and business case. Right. Yeah, so I think a good mix and match of multiple issues people are facing, so that as a participant, it gives you a very clear understanding, right? Like in the manufacturing, this is an expected behavior because of the warehouse and the components. Integration of AI is a major challenge. So let's move on. So in AI, in manufacturing, AI has multiple use cases, right? I'll quickly cover the listed use cases, and obviously you can read more about it on Google by searching it out, and few of the tools that I'll mention here. Digital twins are basically mirroring your current physical world, right? Your manufacturing warehouse, your floor, logistics, the trucks traveling, the cars traveling. Similarly, there is predictive maintenance and cobots, wherein with cobots, you are having basically robot help human in performing repetitive tasks, right? Predictive maintenance is where, with the amount of data that is being produced, either through your machinery parts or your CRM data, sales data, even your employee data for the HR folks, right? We could build AI models, we could run it through AI, and it can tell you like where are the failure points, right? If there is too many attritions, then what are the major areas where they are, AI is detecting the cause of the attritions, right? Similarly, if there are parts or manufacturing unit failures, what are the reasons of these failures? It can detect from the logs of these equipments, right? Generative design. So this is where AI and a combination of 3D printer can help you generate designs much faster and creating prototypes, right? Factory in a box are basically modular portable micro factories which can automatically move from one place to other, and you basically have a manufacturing unit quickly set up because it's a combination of robotics and AI. You already saw the quality control examples on the videos, wherein it can detect, defects in products as well as other quality control mechanisms that you want to put in place. Now, on the supply chain side, demand forecast and logistics simulation, right? Moving humongous amount of assets from one place A to place B requires a better planning, right? So AI can help you with these planning in your manufacturing operations. Similarly, inventory management, trying to reduce inventory and having the bare minimum quantity which gets sold on time, right? Admin teams are also using these similar solutions, using AI to identify what are the energy optimization that we can do. With workforce, how do we optimize their shifts, skill allocations, right? On different shifts, as well as in upskilling them, you could utilize a lot of these AI tools that we have. The use cases of document AI and L&D tools, learning and development tools, could help you in very fast search and summarization. So these are a lot of use cases that are there. Obviously, we have a mixed cohort out here. A lot of you are from human resources department, from L&D, from operations. So you can pick and choose what are the organization level change that you'd want to put in place in terms of AI. and then work with us to build your upskilling program around it. Right. The next poll. So do you think that what you saw with AI and the automation that is in place, let's say in Amazon and in the automated detection system, do you think that your job can be taken over by AI? What's your thought? We have 8 out of 18. Others, let's quickly get in the poll results. This is also an expected behavior that I'm seeing in the manufacturing industry. Okay, 11 out of 18 people have attempted the poll. Okay, so the majority of you feel that unlikely AI will complement and not replace my role. And that's a valid thought process. In manufacturing, especially because there are a lot of hardwares, warehouses and all, which involves human requirement. This is a thought that we have today. But if you go onto YouTube and try and search about, let's say, dark factories, where the entire manufacturing and the operations is completely run by robots. There's hardly a handful of people who are managing those robots, right? So this is a thought process which will have to change, because yes, maybe today that's what we feel, that AI is going to complement and not replace my role. But think of it this way, that if there are 200 people who are doing a job today, AI has the potential that the same job can be done by 10 people who know how to utilize these AI tools, right? So there would be 180, 190 who would actually lose the job. And that's a sure shot in next 2 to 3 years. This is coming. Manufacturing, I agree, would be the last industry to get impacted, but every other industry is getting badly impacted with the automation in AI. At the same time, AI is also generating a lot of new jobs. However, we don't have the skill set to match to those jobs, right? And that's where uExcelerate and us come in to build these programs which will help us upskill our people so that these new age jobs can be taken over with some upskilling program. Yeah, let's move on to the next. Right. So when you are thinking about AI, you'll have to think on two aspects, right? One is at an org level, how my bigger initiatives will be taken on the factory floors, on product development. And then as an individual, how am I improving myself, right? Through these AI tools. And today's session is more, it's a mix and match of both. So at the initial part, I gave you how AI can be automated into manufacturing and added into the different kind of use cases. Those are organization level initiatives, right? However, now you'll have to think that, okay, I already have some traditional intuition about my operations and role. How do I utilize these AI tools and generate insights and do automations which will give me a strategic advantage, not only for my specific job role, but also for my company to stay relevant in the changing environment, right? Next slide. So this looks like a busy slide, but I'll quickly explain what it entails. It's actually pretty simple. On the left-hand side corner, you have three terms: NLP, like natural language processing, CV, computer vision, and LLM, large language models, right? So NLP and LLM are anything to do with text-based AI, right? If you can go back previously without clicking, right? So that's NLP is all about text-related AI. CV, computer vision, is all related to image-related AI, right? Now, if you see this image, you are here on the right-hand side. In front of you, you have multiple AI applications, right? So examples of ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, Canvas, and all, right? Towards the back end of all these applications are all these noisy pictures that you see, right? So the first thing that these applications talk to at the back end are these foundation model building, right? If you see those red dots, that's the text-based AI solutions, AI models that we talk about, right? Similarly, just the ones below that in that green box dotted, those are image-related AI tools. And below that, there's audio-related in the purple, right? These models are built using a lot of data, which you see on the left-hand side, right? So there is NLP or text-based data sources, image-based data sources in the CV part, and the audio part has multiple data sources. Now, why I'm showing you this is for you to understand that while you are here on the extreme right, and there's a lot of back-end work that's happening, all you need to do is actually master only the AI application layer. So now if you click on the slide once, and that's what those two red crosses and the green tick is for, right? So high level information for you was sufficient that I'm going to use these AI applications. There are a lot of backend applications or backend activities that are happening, which is being taken care by the engineering team. You don't need to bother about that, right? So as you upskill yourself on these application usage, it's good to get into AI. Let's move into the next slide. So as an individual, here are some of, based on your different roles, if you see, here are some of the activities that you'll be doing, right? The sales and the marketing team would be focusing on growth and market agility, right? For those, there are some of these tools like Perplexity, ChatGPT, Gemini. How many of you have used a deep research feature within ChatGPT? I'm assuming everybody has used ChatGPT by now. Can I get a yes if you have used deep research in ChatGPT in the Zoom chat? Please type in yes or a no, depending on whether you have used deep research within ChatGPT. Okay, Ujjwal says he hasn't. Anumya has used deep research. Sunny, Kamini hasn't. Disha has used. Right. So again, if you are into sales, if you are into market research, that could be a very important tool for you to use within ChatGPT. Right. Similarly, Gemini and Perplexity has also built in those features. On the operational efficiencies, obviously, the major ROI is given through the workflow automation, right? So if you see some of these tools like Zapier, Copilots, these will help you automate a lot of your operational tasks. There are tools like N8N, Make.com, multiple such tools are there, right? As long as you are ready to get your hands dirty, and by hands dirty, I mean only learning to use these applications. For example, moving on to a leadership and talent advantage, right? For HR and L&D, that's an important cohort. Here you could use the uExcelerate platform that we have with all the AI features. Similarly, there are tools like Gamma AI, which can help you create presentations for learning and development. Notebook LM is one example which we'll try today. Yeah. Similarly, risk and resilience management, innovation and transformation, there are multiple such tools that are available. Now, all you have to understand is, okay, this is my role, and these are the tools applicable for me, which I should learn and utilize and become a better efficient person, right, in terms of improving my productivity. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Yeah, so here I want all of us to do a quick exercise. It will not take more than a couple of minutes. So I want you to access this platform. You can use your Google ID itself, right? I'll also share my screen. Right. So in the chat, I've given this link, Notebook LM. This is a product from Google, which we'll try to use today, and you'll see how easy it is. So can I get a yes once people have just logged in? So all you do is you'll land up here, you try Notebook LM. It will ask you, I'm already logged in, but it will ask you to log in you can use your Gmail. So yeah, Shushant Kanika has logged in. I'll wait for a couple of minutes. Okay, I see 3, 4 yeses. Quickly, I'll wait for others. Okay, while others are joining, I'll just show you. So Notebook LM is a tool for analyzing a lot of source of data. It could be PDF. So let's say I create a new notebook today like this, and you can add in your Google Docs, you can add in Google Slides. I can also add a website link. Here, I'll add a YouTube link, the same YouTube link of that Amazon video that I showed you, right? I'll just do an insert here, and let me paste this YouTube link on the chat as well if anybody wants to try it in parallel. So if you see, I added this YouTube link, immediately it was able to analyze the link and the video and give me a summary, right? What else can I do quickly out of that video is click on mind map, right? Once I click on mind map, it will create me a mind map. I've already done this for you so that it doesn't take time. So taking that video, it created a mind map. If I click on this mind map, it will show me that it is talking about Amazon Smart Warehouse. What is it talking about, and further details around this. And it takes AI only a couple of minutes to build this mind map. On a similar note, I could create an audio overview of that entire, let's say, 12-minute video. it will give me about a 3-4 minute audio summary of the entire video. I can also click on video overview and it will give me a video generation, right? The audio and video takes about 3 to 5 minutes to create, but I've already created that for you in a separate notebook. So let's say if I want to look at this video, it creates a slide as well as the audio along with it, right? Okay, I don't know if you are hearing the audio, but again, just to show you the concepts of, how AI can help you build different kinds of audio, video. It is also taking graphs, and then you see this summary. Kiva impacts 50% more stocks, 3x faster retrieval, and 40% lower fulfillment cost. This is one of the key area where I had paused to show you that example on the video. And these are something that the AI learned automatically from the video and created this. When you go through the video, you'll not get these slides, by the way. It took the audio from there and then created all of this. Right, so I'll stop the share now. So that was just a quick demo and example for you. I'm sure some of you, have also tried this in parallel. And type me a chat if you are actually amazed by this, the tool. Let's see what are everybody feeling about this AI tool. Can I see a response on the chat? I see Ujjwal is excited. Anunya as well. Kamini says it's useful. Kanika as well, amazing tool to use. Okay, yeah. So utilize that tool. I'm assuring you, whether it's you for your job or for your kids who are studying, that tool can be amazing, and it solves almost 80-90% of the learning. The base learning concepts. You can easily use that. So see, Sunny is saying already replaces some part of what I do in my job. In fact, I was asking Payal and Anunya the other day that, there is a time when this tool is going to replace me. You wouldn't need a Shagnik anymore to take you through a session like this, right? Because you could search for a couple of YouTube videos, put it in there, ask the tool to give you the basics, and that's it. It's only for the expert level and the intermediate level that you reach out to experts like us. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Anunya says you can create your own content and podcast too, right? Because it also generates the audio. And by the way, there are tools which can take an audio from the AI. You could give your audio and it can clone your audio and make that same audio on your voice accent, right? So in the podcast, it will look like, Sita is speaking, right? Not an AI tool. Okay. Effective way to save time and energy. Sita says that. Yeah. Great. Let's move on to the next slide. Yeah, so there are 6 AI risks that you also have to be aware of while you are dealing with all these tools and products. Data privacy is a key important aspect. Bias and fairness. If you recall that image, right, where you had that application layer, then you had the model and the data. If the backend is not powerful enough and the bias and fairness in the data is not taken over, then obviously the output coming out from the application layer is going to be faulty, right? So obviously the big companies, the Googles and Microsofts of the world are paying attention to ensure that the data is not biased and it is fair across all the ethnicity. But that is something that as a leader you should be aware of. The applications that you are using, whether they are secure or not, whether they are compliant to your industry and to the states and the countries that you are operating out of, because any flaws in these 4 top items is going to create a reputational damage for you or for your organization, right? And then the other aspect is job displacement. I want all of us in this call to be aware that there is going to be a huge amount of job displacement. I'm not saying job loss, but displacement, meaning certain jobs are going to die and additional jobs are going to get created. But for this job displacement, for us to not get impacted, we have to focus on upskilling the people to take on this higher complex work using these AI tools. The tools are also getting built. A lot of the tools have already been built, right? Yeah, let's move on. So these are 6 AI risks that obviously you have to pay attention to whenever you are choosing in any AI tools or platforms that you want to roll out across the company, and ask your employees to adopt those tools. And to build this AI ready culture within the company, here is a quick checklist. So first and foremost for you is upskill your workforce, right? I think that came out in one of your polls as well, that lack of people skills and AI skills is a major hindrance to the growth, right? Um, a lot of these tools that are there, you could, just like the Google LM, you used your Gmail ID to log in and try it out. Almost 100% of these AI tools will allow you to get into this with a simple email ID and try out, test out, right? Maybe for a limited time period. So do try those out. All those AI tools like Gamma, ChatGPT, Perplexity, and that will help to foster the experimentation. And then you'll see that people learning new things will come up and share things with you. And obviously establish a AI ethics board because a lot of the AI can be used for negative activities as well, right? So that's a very important aspect for leaders like you. And in our session, we cover AI ethics board and how the strategy should be built around ethical use of AI, right? And then obviously the major part is promote data culture. If you saw, the major input to AI is all data. If the data is not there, then you don't have an AI solution. And all the automation that's happening, it's basically based on that data, right? From the data you automate, you generate insights. From that insights, you take actions. The actions could be manual, actions could be automated as well. Yeah. Let's move on to the next slide. I think we have the next poll. So yeah, a quick poll. Are you ready to transform your AI leadership? And where do you think AI can create the biggest impact in your organization? Right. So Kamini has a question. So I'll take the questions after this poll and a few other slides. But that's a good question, Kamini. Thanks for asking. Let's take this poll quickly. We have the Menti link already pasted there on the chat window. Somebody can click on it as well or scan this image. The question is, as per you, where do you think AI is going to create the biggest impact in your organization? Is it in strategic vision and change management, workforce upskilling, operational excellence, or supply chain agility? Okay, we have 5 out of 18. Let's quickly finish it. We are at 347. Strategic vision and change management is going as the top. I see 6 out of 18. Team, let's get into the poll fast, because this is going to give us a good grasp of how the overall manufacturing leaders are feeling about how the AI is going to create the biggest impact. So if you see strategic vision and change management and the operational excellence, these two are major areas where you are feeling that AI is going to create the biggest impact. So half of the people have responded. We still have about 8 odd people. Let's take it to at least 13, 14, 15-ish response. Okay, I think it's good enough. I think strategic vision and change management as well as operational excellence wins the race. Yeah, let's move on. With that, I hand over the deck to Payal.
Thank you, Sagnik. So just a very, and thank you for the response. It kind of gels into this next slide, which gives a very quick overview on the workshop construct that we are building. It is basically focused on the first part where we saw the maximum results, which is strategic vision, building the AI adoption roadmap, handling change management. So basically making the organization ready for AI adoption. Operational excellence is going to be the key part of this workshop, and it will be focused on the various execution modules, which includes, the shop floor, the supply chain, and other production processes of the manufacturing organization. Another key theme in the workshop will be governance, extremely important for the manufacturing industry. So from compliance to ESG alignment, basically how do we grow in a sustainable fashion and how can we leverage AI to make this faster or to scale this up. Workforce management and talent strategy becomes an extremely important part of this overall strategy as the organization moves towards adopting AI. And last, but not the least, accelerating innovation and time to market by leveraging AI specific to manufacturing. If you're interested and if you want to understand a bit more on this workshop, I'll also drop my mail ID in the chat box, or you can just send a quick hi in the chat box and we'll get in touch with you. I hand it back to Sagnik for any question and answers on what he presented.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Payal. Yeah, with that, we have finished this session and the deck, let's get into the Q&A mode. We can go to the next slide. I think that's talking about the question and answer. So I'll take the first question from Kamini. And I guess we can stop the share now, and it would be good if people can come on video and we can get into a question and answer mode. So Kamini is asking, who are the right people to be on a ethics board? So that's a great question. Obviously, you're someone senior leader from the HR team should absolutely be there. Someone from the legal team, because a lot of the compliance requirements of your industry has to be understood, right? And whether these tools that you're adopting, if it has some component of social media to it, then the legal team has to play a part in it. Other than these two, obviously the infosec team, because there's all your data solution is going to involve some form of data, data around it. So infosec team is going to confirm whether the data usage is as per the compliance requirements, as per the industry norms, right? So these three are bare minimum, right? So the leadership team of HR, leadership team of legal, and the IIS or the infosec team, right? And obviously the more people you add in the ethics board from each department, it becomes easy for you to ensure that the ethical part of the department, let's say from operational standpoint, right? There might be a situation where only the operation head knows about certain aspects of the operation which can be impacted by AI, which HR or a legal team may not be knowing, right? So you can expand on that as well. Any other
Thank you.
questions? Sure. Thanks, Amin. Yeah. I'd also request others to come on video camera if that's a possibility, and let's ask any other question that you might have. Okay, Shushant is asking use cases of Gen AI versus agentic AI in manufacturing. That's another good question. So quickly, I'll cover what is a Gen AI versus agentic AI, right? Gen AI came from the term of generative AI, where AI is generating something for you. The generation could be an image, video, some additional data, response to email. So these are all generation. Once this generative AI came into picture, people felt that, okay, using this generative AI, I could also build small bots, agents, right? Which could take the input of these generative AI outputs and automate some of these processes, right? So you would use both in manufacturing, right? Example of generative AI is used by marketing department, right? So you don't need models, you don't need to spend huge amount on marketing these days. You could just add a product image, you could add a person towards it, and then just put in certain comments and it will create that video for you automatically. Just in your laptop, you could create that video today without spending any amount. There are free tools to try that out. It will generate for maybe 5 seconds. But if you want longer video, you need to pay, right? So those are examples of generative AI. What kind of agentic AI solution can come in? Let's say your marketing team developed all these collaterals, right? Now you want it to go to, let's say, get posted on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and multiple other platforms. You could create these agents which will do those activities for you. Similarly, from HR standpoint, posting jobs, right? Creating job descriptions. All of these can be automated using a combination of Gen AI and agentic AI, right? I hope, Sushant, that answers your question. So Kamini is asking, can you share any good use case in the service industry versus manufacturing? In the services industry, chat GPTs of the world has created havoc, right? So responding to RFPs, sales proposals, creating emails, creating training contents. You just saw what Notebook LM can do, right? Any new topic that is coming in, right? For people to understand that, for a training department itself to create those collaterals and decks and training decks, it used to take a couple of weeks, right? Now you could just do that within 1 hour. Give it a couple of videos, give it a couple of books, and it will generate you the major crux content. Then you obviously, putting human in the loop, you rebuild on top of it. Yeah. So multiple such use cases are there. Please drop an email to Payal. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Shivani. Thanks for the feedback. I'm glad that you liked it. Any other questions? You could feel free to drop an email to Payal. The email ID is already there. Or if you feel like asking more questions, we still have 4 more minutes. Any other questions from anybody? And thank you, Sitaji, for coming on camera. Kamini too. The more we know about AI, the more we still need to know. Thanks for sharing. Agreed. when I started getting into AI, it was only a couple of handful of applications, right? Especially when ChatGPT came in. Now it's like gone crazy. I mean, I'm unable to keep track of at least 25 that I use on a daily basis, 25 AI tools for different purposes, right? I'm into social media, automation, posting, content generation. But I can guarantee you could increase your productivity and efficiency by at least 40x if you know the right tools to use.
Yeah, we're still at the beginning stage, so I guess there's
Right.
a lot to still catch up on.
Right. Sunny is saying thank you, Shani. Thanks, Shani. Thanks, Sushant, for the feedback. I'm glad that you all like the session, and I hope you do reach out to the uExcelerate team for the next steps for these upskilling programs. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm good. Payal, Anunaya, any closing thoughts from your end? Else, I guess we are good to wrap up today.
Yes.
Thank you, Sagnik.
Thank you so much, Sagnik, for joining in, and thank you everyone who took out their time to join in the session. We have more such sessions coming up, and with similar sessions with more practical examples, how you can use AI, more engaging activities, and what is more than AI than GPT itself. So thank you again, Sagnik, for giving your time. It was really insightful.
Thank
It's a
you to
rabbit hole, and
all
we
the
have more
learners.
to dig in.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you all
Thank
to all
you.
the learners for joining us today.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day. Bye-bye.